So you're brand new to home theater, you know you want a home theater, but you don't know where to start.
This is Brightside Home Theater.
Hi, I'm DJ, host of Brightside Home Theater Podcast. Podcast that's about the experiences we have in our theaters, the overall experience in our theaters, the movies and scenes that we have fun watching once our theaters are built. But this video is about how to build a home theater. What's the most important thing to do? What do we need to do? That's the question I get asked all the time. I've been into this since 1988 when I took a stereo system and connected extra car speakers to it and created surround sound for myself in my room, and here I am. Before we get to the most important step, if you like what I have to say, hit the like button. I'd really appreciate it. And subscribe too, trying to build that up. I'm new at the YouTube thing. I've been into home theater for a while, but I thought I'd share my experiences with you guys, and I'd appreciate it if you'd spread the word, and apparently that's how you do it. So over the past 30 plus years, I've built my fair share of theaters. I've had plenty of people ask me how to do it, what they need to do. And here's what I always say. You need to have a passion for this. You need to have the desire to build this, to get there in whatever way you can. And clearly you already have that. That's why you are watching this video. Step 2 is the most important step and the most important thing to keep in mind when building your home theater. This piece of advice will carry on to step 3, 4, 5, all the way to 30 years from now when you're telling people how to build a home theater. And here it is. Keep it simple. That's it. That's the most important thing you can do when building a home theater. And I have 4 reasons why. First and foremost, cost. There's no such thing as no budget. I can spend whatever. There has to be a budget. I don't care how much money you have. Keeping it simple will help you with the cost. Number 2, knowledge. You don't have any. Sorry. You're watching a video on how to get into home theater. You probably don't have a ton of knowledge. So you got to keep it simple. But that's good, because that's part of the fun of getting into home theater. If you're watching a video on how to do it, then you want to do it. You don't have the millions of dollars to just pay somebody to build you a room. So obviously you got to keep it simple because you don't have the knowledge yet. And that leads to number 3, options. You have to keep it simple. There are too many options. Do you get a sound bar? Do you get a receiver? If you get a receiver, do you go 5.1? Do you go 7.1? Do you go 7.2? Do you go 5.1.2? What does 0.1 mean? What does 0.2 mean? What do all of these things mean? Wait a minute, what's a sound bar? Why do I do it? There are so many options, and we haven't even got into brand names. So keep it simple. Because most of the time, when somebody asks me, I'll go to their home and I'll say, what do you have? I'll look at what they have, which is a TV with TV speakers, or even if they have a soundbar and they want to upgrade to a receiver, they have all these grand ideas, but they don't know how to get there. Take it slow. I guarantee you that if you're just starting out, you're going to be blown away by whatever you have. And that could be just a soundbar. If you're upgrading to a soundbar, it's probably going to blow you away compared to your TV speakers. So just keep it simple. Start there. And then you build that knowledge because of these options. So you get to learn what things sound like. What's the difference between a soundbar and a receiver? That's how you get to grow. I have one more reason why we keep it simple, but before that, I'm going to give you an idea of how to keep it simple, keep the cost down with limited knowledge and limited options. So you're brand new to home theater, you know you want a home theater, but you don't know where to start. Very simply, get a receiver and 2 speakers. That's all you need. Because those 2 speakers, when you sit in the correct spot, will give you everything that you need to start out. And then you can learn from there what a center channel does. Then you can learn from there what the rear channels do. It's simple, it's fairly cheap. I don't even care what kind of speakers you have because I had car speakers when I started out. Very simple, easy to start, you'll learn from there, and then you can grow. That's how you start, simply. And the number 4 reason why you start that simply, so you can enjoy the experience. Having a home theater is about the experience. Something in you said, I want to have a home theater. I want that experience of going to the theater, but I want that in my home. That's why you're watching this video. If you get too complicated too fast, you're not going to be able to experience it. You're going to be too busy trying to fix issues. If you start simple and then you grow from there, you'll understand where things went wrong. You start with 2 speakers and a receiver. If one speaker isn't working, pretty easy to fix. There's only one other speaker working. There's not a lot of connections to check. Then you add more speakers, you'll add more problems. You'll add more connections. Things can go wrong. You didn't wire it correctly. Maybe it's not connected in the right place. Your left channel sounds like the front channel. What's wrong? All of these things happen. These are all problems I've corrected. Start simply, grow, have fun, and get to experience everything along the way. Don't be afraid to leave questions or comments down below. If you're one of my regular listeners from the podcast and you're just checking this out, hey, let everybody know that's how you started too. Because a lot of people, a lot of searches, you're gonna see, hey, you can have this theater, and a lot of it is pretty scary. It's pretty in-depth if you try to get to this when you're just starting out. Leave questions, leave comments, and don't forget to subscribe. I'd really appreciate that, and hit the like button too. Thanks a lot.